When you're talking about private facts like a sexual assault or sexual harassment, it is difficult to prove or disprove the truth of them. But Ron is making statements well outside the scope of those kinds of things. Right. He's making discoverable statements that are factual and susceptible to being proven true or false. Yeah. He's saying, look, there's 100 ladies already told me. Okay, this guy, Ron, standing in front of, he's getting way out ahead of himself. And he's saying, like, look, this guy sexually assaulted every single woman on the planet. This Ron's standing in front of like a fucking number board that's going up like the national debt and pointing at it and going, that's another one. That's another one. Vic Mignogna has sexually assaulted more women than there are stars in the sky.
Well, I love he starts getting into like the math of it too. He's like, there's one where he's like, well, you know, if 20, 30, 40 people are saying the same thing, even if 10 to 20% are false, that would still mean there are no less than 8 that are true. And isn't that enough to say so-and-so is a predator? Like,
and that is such a fucking, I mean, like, you are just, it's, what's wild is that Ron appears to be attempting to plead the exact elements of defamation, because he's like, this is a factual statement. This is not my opinion at all.
I'm just doing math here.
I'm just breaking down the probabilities, and I'm just telling you how it is.
And he's explaining exactly what's harmful about this, because the 100 accounts of assault. Now, I'm not saying that I have any idea whether it's true or false. What I'm saying is that it is very susceptible to being proved true or false, and is the kind of thing that should probably, that in my opinion, maybe survives TCPA motion. Because it's something you can find out if it's true or false, and because it does tend to harm somebody. Because if you say that 100 people came forward, look, man, maybe number 58 and 10 and 25 and number 71, and these are lying. Maybe some snuck in, maybe even a bunch. 100, really? Like nobody in there was telling the truth? Get the fuck out of here. I don't have to think much more about it, because if you really do have 100 accounts, I mean, fuck it. Like, I'm not gonna look into it anymore. I got other shit to do. The thing in Ron Toy's deposition that really jumps out at me, just as a practice point, is this guy is not a fucking good lawyer. I'm sorry. Starting on page 92 of Ron's deposition, he is trying to get him to authenticate tweets. And if you're not a lawyer, one of the important things in depositions is to show people documents and get them to agree that those documents are what they appear to be. Did you send this email? Is that your email signature? Do you remember saying this email? Do you agree with that statement? Can you explain that statement? And one of the important points of using documentary evidence is somebody has to agree that that thing's not made up, that they did actually say it and they recognize it. Now,
establishing a foundation.
It comes up. It's important. It comes up in every fucking case all the time. It's a basic skill of an attorney. It is less than a basic skill of an attorney. The real skills of an attorney are asking questions and getting admissions out of the document. Authentication is beneath that. Authentication is shit you need to be able to do in your fucking sleep. And I mean, it just blows my fucking mind, this transcript. So he shows him a ream of tweets, a bunch of Ron Toy's tweets. And are these your tweets? So far on page 180, Ron tweets a lot. So he says, are you willing to agree that these are your tweets? And he says, yes. And then, okay, maybe we can speed this up a bit. Look at all these pages. Are these all your tweets? Let me know if you made those tweets. And he goes, well, I don't recall making them, but that's my Twitter handle. And then Ty, instead of taking that and moving on or asking a few lockdown questions, goes, are those your tweets? Back to the beginning. It looks like it, yes. Yes? Is that a yes? It looks like it, yes. I need you to say yes or no. And so Ron now is just like, fuck you, dude. He goes, or it looks like it. Ty says, I need you to say yes or no, or I don't know. I mean, those are the 3 things. Tell me one of those 3. Are they your tweets? And he goes, looks like it. So he goes, let me try one more time. I want a yes, a no, or I don't know. I didn't ask if it looked like it. I asked, are those your tweets? Have you, or if you prefer, did you post those tweets? It looks like I posted them. So Ron is dunking on him now. You are now getting fucking manhandled by
your own witness. Yeah,
by a witness that you should be annihilating here, right? Like, I would be well past this point, and you wouldn't even get close to getting manhandled by this guy, because you don't need to. But I just have to hammer this home. So this is so funny. So we're gonna keep asking this question until I get an answer. Ron, cool. Oh man, I love this guy. So he goes, so Ty tees it up again. Yes, no, or I don't know. It looks like I made those tweets. He is trolling the shit out of him. So Ron, honestly, I know we gave you a lot of shit at the beginning of the episode, man, but I love what you did here, dude.
It's so good.
It's really good. So then Mr. Beard, let's go off the record a second. So he's fucking pissed off. Yeah, they come back on and now they're arguing, and the opposing counsel is actually really nice and polite about it. I would definitely tell him to fuck off. But he's like, look, I think he's answering the question. He's saying the copies you've given him are the documents. He's saying they appear to be his tweets. He said that's my Twitter handle. No one else has used it. Like, you have everything you need. And he just jumps right back in. Right now, this goes on. He jumps right back in. He's like, look, are these your tweets? I said yes, no, or I don't know. So it just goes on. Now, this started on page 92 of the deposition. It goes on to page, 113, 114. It fucking just... It's 20 pages. He literally is just getting spun. And at one point, he's, accusing them of conspiracy. He's like, you're trying to hold up the deposition. But let me tell you what, buddy, it's not going to work. We got 3.5 hours to go. I could do this all day. We'll go to the judge. In fact, we'll stop the fucking deposition right now. So...
Get the judge on the phone.
Yeah, which is is going to embarrass the shit out of you because we've talked about this in a previous episode. So you should go listen to our other episodes if you want to hear about this. But judges do not like to talk about discovery disputes, and certainly not this shit.
Well, especially not when you're tripping over your own dick because you can't just say yes for a fucking
answer. It's so
answer,
fucking
right?
stupid. So he goes,
just move the fuck on.
All right, do these look like your tweets? They do look like my tweets. So Ron, again, has kept the thread the entire time. Your job as a lawyer in a deposition is to keep the thread. The witness gets all over the place. You know where you're going. You have a story. The witness can go off into all kinds of places, and usually you don't even necessarily maybe want them to see your thread. You just want them to be agreeing to all the things that logically compel the conclusion you want at the end, which kills their case. So what's going on here is the exact opposite. Ty is spinning in fucking circles, and Ron knows the thing that trolls him is to say looks like it. So here he actually baits Ty into saying, do the other tweets in this binder look like your tweets? Ron goes, they do look like my tweets. It's so fucking funny. I mean, honestly, I would get a beer with Ron. This is so funny.